Have you ever wondered where our numbers come from? Or how doctors first learned to perform complex surgeries? What if I told you that many of the scientific and cultural cornerstones of our modern world have deep roots in a golden age that is often overlooked? Today, we are taking a journey back in time to uncover the incredible story of how Islamic civilization didn't just preserve ancient knowledge but revolutionized it, shaping the very world we live in. Let's start in the 8th century. While Europe was navigating the early Middle Ages, a vibrant intellectual movement was exploding across the vast Islamic world, stretching from Spain to Persia. The Abbasid caliphs in Baghdad weren't just rulers. They were patrons of knowledge. They established the legendary House of Wisdom, or Beit al-Hikmah, a massive library and translation center that became the intellectual heart of the world. Think of it like the internet of its time. Scholars from different cultures and faiths, Muslims, Christians, and Jews, were invited to Baghdad. Their mission? To translate the world's knowledge into Arabic. They painstakingly translated ancient Greek, Persian, and Indian texts on everything from philosophy and medicine to mathematics and astronomy. But this wasn't just about copying. It was about absorbing, questioning, and building upon that knowledge. This spirit of inquiry, known as the translation movement, ignited centuries of unprecedented scientific discovery. Let's talk numbers. You've probably heard of Arabic numerals, the 0, 1, 2, 3 we use every single day. These actually originated in India, but it was Arab mathematicians who adopted them, refined them, and crucially, introduced them to the West. A Persian mathematician named al-Khwarizmi was a true giant of this era. He wrote a groundbreaking book that introduced a systematic way to solve linear and quadratic equations. The title of his book, Algebra, gave us the word algebra, but that's not all. His own name, al-Khwarizmi, was Latinized into algoritmi, which is the origin of the word algorithm. Yes, the very foundation of computer programming, and every app on your phone has its roots in 9th century Baghdad. And what about seeing the world more clearly? The science of optics made a massive leap thanks to a brilliant scholar named Ibn al-Haytham, known in the West as al-Hazan. Before him, people like Euclid and Ptolemy believed that our eyes sent out rays to see objects. Ibn al-Haytham proved this wrong through meticulous experiments. He demonstrated that light travels in straight lines and that vision occurs when light reflects off an object and enters the eye. He basically invented the scientific method as we know it, forming a hypothesis, testing it with experiments, and documenting the results. He also built the first camera obscura, a dark room with a small hole that projected an image onto a wall, which was the precursor to the modern camera. Now, let's turn to medicine. While medical practices in much of the world were basic, Islamic physicians were creating a sophisticated system of healthcare. They established the first true hospitals, which were not just places for the sick to rest, but complex institutions with different wards for different illnesses, surgical units, pharmacies, and even medical libraries. These were teaching hospitals, where new doctors were trained through practical experience. A towering figure in this field was Ibn Sina, or Avicenna. His monumental encyclopedia, The Canon of Medicine, was a comprehensive guide to medical knowledge at the time. It was so detailed and systematic that it became the standard medical textbook in Europe for over 600 years. Ibn Sina identified diseases like meningitis, understood the contagious nature of tuberculosis, and described principles of quarantine to stop the spread of infection. Another medical pioneer, al-Zahrawi, is considered the father of modern surgery. He invented over 200 surgical instruments, many of which, like the scalpel, forceps, and surgical needle, are still recognizable in operating rooms today. He wrote the first illustrated surgical guide, which was used by surgeons in Europe for centuries. The sky was not the limit for these innovators. Islamic astronomers made incredible advances. They built sophisticated observatories, like the one in Morocco in modern-day Iran, which were filled with massive, precise instruments. They corrected many of the calculations of the ancient Greek astronomer Ptolemy, whose model of the universe had dominated for 1,000 years. Scholars like al-Battani accurately calculated the length of the solar year with amazing precision. Others, like the astronomers at the Morocco school, developed new mathematical models for planetary motion that later influenced Renaissance astronomers like Copernicus. They created vast star charts and astrolabes, beautiful and complex devices that could be considered the analog computers of their day, helping with navigation, timekeeping, and prayer times. Beyond science, the influence was everywhere. In chemistry, a scholar named Jabir ibn Hayyan, or Gibber, laid the groundwork for modern chemistry. He championed experimentation and introduced processes like distillation, crystallization, and filtration. His work led to the discovery of many acids and chemicals that are fundamental to industry today. In engineering, figures like the Banu Musa brothers and Al-Jazari were mechanical geniuses. Al-Jazari's book of knowledge of ingenious mechanical devices is filled with designs for incredible automata self-operating machines. He designed intricate water clocks, automated fountains, and even a programmable robotic band. These creations weren't just toys, they were marvels of engineering that showcased a deep understanding of principles like camshafts and crankshafts long before they appeared in Europe. Even our daily life is touched by this legacy. The process of distilling ethanol to create perfumes and other products was refined in the Islamic world. The first degree-granting universities, like the University of Al-Qur'an in Fez, Morocco, were founded. They introduced concepts of crop rotation to agriculture, brought new crops like sugarcane and cotton to Europe, and developed complex irrigation systems. From the coffee that starts our day, first cultivated and brewed in Yemen, to the guitars whose design evolved from the Arabic oud, the influence is woven into the fabric of our culture. So why isn't this history more widely known? Over time, political shifts, invasions, and the decline of major trade routes led to a gradual slowdown of this scientific engine. When Europe entered its own renaissance, it built directly upon the knowledge that had been preserved, translated, and vastly expanded upon by Islamic scholars. Many texts were translated from Arabic into Latin, sometimes without crediting the original authors, which obscured their origins. But the evidence is undeniable. The Islamic Golden Age was not just a bridge that saved Greek knowledge. It was a powerful engine of innovation that questioned, experimented, and created. It laid the foundation for the scientific method, gave us the mathematical tools to describe the universe, and pushed the boundaries of what was thought possible in medicine, engineering, and astronomy. Recognizing this incredible legacy is not about rewriting history, it's about completing it. It's a reminder that scientific progress is a global human endeavor, built layer by different cultures across time. The next time you solve an algebra problem, check the time on your phone or even enjoy a cup of coffee. Take a moment to remember the brilliant minds of the Islamic Golden Age who helped make it all possible. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into history as fascinating as I did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next exploration. See you next time.